Yes, we are live. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to a very special healing conversation. My name is Alicia Watkins. In case you guys don't know, I'm a licensed clinical social worker and I am a professor of social work. And tonight we are having one of the most, I would say, very necessary conversation today. It's a sensitive conversation of our time, but it's a conversation that many families, I think, avoid. But in every community, we need to have these types of conversations. Today, we are talking about child abuse and unwanted touch, boundary violations, and the culture of silence that often keeps our children unprotected, and then they grow up and it keeps our families in a lot of pain. So we're going to have this conversation today. It's a topic I think it demands lots of courage, a lot of compassion. Tonight we're going to have both. I just want to let you know I was looking this up. 1 out of every 4 girls and 1 out of every 13 boys, and I think it's probably more than that, because of stigma, experience some sort of sexual child abuse before the age of 18. 90% of cases involve someone the child already knows. It's not some stranger walking around in a big white van grabbing up children. No, it's people that we know. And when it comes to Black African American children, research tells us that Black children experience higher rates of sexual abuse and exploitation. All of this is happening. There's cultural shame, there's systemic neglect, all of those things. And lastly, I just want to highlight that 34% of Black women, adult Black women, report experiencing some sort of sexual abuse, compared to only about 20% of white women. So these numbers present more than just data. To me, like, I look at this and they represent children who are in our families, they are in our churches, they are in our schools and our neighborhoods. And these are individuals who need somebody to listen, to understand, to act, and to believe. So, how do we change that story? Today, we are protecting our children, that their voice matters, their body belongs to them, and that telling the story is powerful and not something shameful. So today, I want to introduce our guest. We got our 12-year-old superstar today. His name is Raj Brown. And say hello, everybody, to Raj.
Hello.
Hello, everybody in the chat. Say hi to Mr. Raj. He's 12 years old, you guys, and he's on here. And he is coming along here with another powerful voice. And I don't know if anybody knows Jamillah, but Jamillah is one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Jamillah, you are. Jamillah Shabazz, she is powerful, very powerful lady. She is helping to expand this movement and to participate in prevention. And she does a whole lot of healing work. I don't know if she want to talk about that today. And welcome, Jamillah.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it, Dr. Alicia.
Yes. And their book, they wrote together, the name of the book is No, I'm Telling. And let me go ahead and drop in the chat in case y'all need to know how you can get a hold of this book. If it's interesting what we're talking about today, get the book. Put it all in the chat here. And so this book, No, I'm Telling, it is changing lives, giving children the language to protect themselves and really the courage to speak up when they feel like something is wrong. So let's start with, I want to start with you, Jamillah.
Okay.
What inspired you to take on this work to talk about child safety, advocacy? And I saw the cover of the book. It's a multicultural cover. So it's saying that it's happening all over and in Black communities where silence and stigma often kind of run deep.
Okay. So First, let me say, nobody knows this story. Nobody knows how this came about. So you get it first, okay?
Ah,
So I through my own business, my client had asked me to attend church with them, and a husband and wife, and I was more than happy to attend the church ceremony with them. And while I'm sitting there, I'm hearing guidance, like a download of information. And it's like coming in bits and pieces, but I'm hearing like they have to know how to say no. They have to know it's a book, no. And like, it was just, I was writing it in my phone, and the preacher had said, put your phones away. And I couldn't put my phone away because I kept getting this information. So at any rate, I knew it was something about a book. I knew it was something about children saying no, but I really didn't have all the pieces together. So I just kind of heard it and put it to the side. Then I started getting more guidance, and it was, okay, Raj is going to write the book. And I said, okay. And then I said, okay, well, since Raj is going to write the book, I'm going to let Heaven write the book with him. And that's my granddaughter. So I said, I'm going to let Heaven write the book with him. Then I got guidance in my sleep. No, Raj is going to write the book. I was like, but I already told Heaven. It was like, this is not her path. This is his path. I said, okay. They said he's a protector. He's a humanitarian. He has a kind heart, a kind soul.
mm.
This is, you're just coming to assist him on his path. This is his path, not hers. So I was like, okay. So I reached out to Raj and my sister, his mom, and I asked him, would he be interested in writing a book? Still wasn't quite sure about the book. I just knew that by this time I knew that it had to do with protecting children. So I asked him, did he want to do that? He was excited. Yes, I want to write a book. I want to write a book. So we started having meetings on the phone, and he would tell me different things to put in the book. And yeah, I would write it down. I'd be like, "Oh, Raj, that was good. Let me write this down." And I would write it down. It took a while for the book to come to fruition because I do run my business and I have a lot of things on my plate. But at some point, the book was born, and I'm really proud of Raj. And you know, I'm the backseat driver with this, but I had to get the editor and get all the stuff that Raj wouldn't do as a child. But his words was definitely put in there, and then we just had to tweak it with the editing and things like that. But that's how the book was born, and I didn't even tell him when it was ready. I just let him get it from Amazon, and he was so happy and proud of himself. So that's how the book came
Oh,
about.
aren't you full of surprises, Miss Jamillah? Oh my God. This is so good. So this is a divine intervention. Divine.
No, it
And
really is.
yeah, and if anybody knows, Jamilah's got the gift, because she got the gift. But I'll let you talk about that. She got the gift, and you get this gift. And when thoughts and ideas pop into our head, that is divine. It is,
Yeah.
you need to go on it. And so Raj came up. And then I know when you approached Raj, you got to tell your story now when your aunt Jamillah approached you about this book and the fact that you are a humanitarian. Look at that. Tell me about this story. What made you want to say yes and speak out about something that most adults are afraid to speak out about? You are a child speaking about things that grown adults can't even talk about.
So when my auntie first called me about it, I was excited. I was excited. I will say that I was very happy because I've always wanted to write a book. I've been interested in writing, especially on computers and stuff. So I just been writing a lot. I used to write my own stories in fourth grade. So and when we started to write the book, I told her about what the things to put inside the book, and when we started putting the stuff inside the book, then it like evolved inside different scenarios of when when to say no, I'm telling to adults when they're trying to do something inappropriate or something that you don't want. And I think just having the book, having mating it was like real. Having mating the book with my auntie was like very exciting. It was fun, and I'm just really happy I made it with her.
Oh, you got to bond with your family member. And that's always wonderful. Thank you. And I mean, like, the book is interesting. These scenarios that you talk about in the book, like, point one out. Like, what do you want other children to know if someone touches them inappropriately or makes them feel uncomfortable? What is it that you want to know? Well, you would want those children to know.
I want them to know that they should not let nobody touch their body because it's theirs, obviously. And
Mhm.
I want them to know that they have the free will to say no, I'm telling in any circumstance.
Yes. And it's like, it, I think what's so great about what you're saying is that there's no, and then there's I'm telling. And it articulates perfectly in the language of a child all of the things that are inside, how to say, like, it's almost like people are just like, what do I do? How do I deal with this? And they just like, so many people when they're in scary situations, a lot of people freeze and they don't know what to say, they don't know what to do. And as a therapist, I hear this all the time over and over again. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to tell. I didn't know any of these things. But the fact that you can just make a simple phrase, no, I'm telling, it is, there's so much power behind that, because it's like, no, I'm telling. I don't care what you say. I'm telling. And I mean, that just to be able to articulate a very small word, it's like a lion comes out of you. And whoever is perpetrating something like that, I could just see them shrink. I don't know. That's what I envision in my mind, is like, that's the gift of language, to let somebody know exactly what to say. And it's like, no, exclamation mark. I'm telling, and that is, there's something so empowering to that. What do you say about that, Jamillah? That title of this book, no, I'm telling.
Well, it is empowering for children to say it, but the reality is children are scared. And they're scared. And I know as someone who's victorious from being SA'd, I don't want to say the words because we do have children listening. But unwanted touch, was something that I experienced as a child, and it didn't come back to me until I became an adult. And then when it came back to me, and I told my mom, as now I mean, this literally came back to me a couple of years ago, not even 5 years ago. So you experience this, and sometimes it's not in your consciousness anymore. Then it just comes back up. So as a child, I'm not even sure why I didn't tell, but I know you don't expect adults to be like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't expect it as a child. The world looks different. And having the child to know, I don't care what age they are, having them to know this is something that can be prevented. This is not something that's going to happen to you because you're going to use your voice. That's important. Whether it's no, I'm telling, or whether you're screaming, you have to use your voice. Now, for me, I told my children before they can talk. I
Mhm.
told them about nobody touches your body. No. And I would tell them this, Alicia, because they tell children, like the predator that
Mhm.
that had his experience. He had me put my hand on the Holy Quran, like the Bible, and I had to say, um, I swear to God I will not tell or I'm gonna die. So now as a child I'm thinking I'm gonna die and something's gonna happen to me. And they often put that fear into children. So it's great to say no. I'm telling you, we have to assist our children in feeling confident enough to say it. So what's going to make children feel confident enough to say it? Well, I'm going to let you know. When your children tells you no, stop screaming and yelling at them. Say, you know what? I'm proud of you for
Yes.
using your voice. Give me a hug. I'm proud of you for
Mhm.
using your voice. I'm proud of you that you standing up for yourself and that you decide that this is not something you want to do, instead of getting mad and taking it personal. Because when you allow them to say no and to use their voice and to honor themselves, they take that into the real world. But when they cannot do it at home, they cannot do it in the real world. So we want to assist them at home so they can scream, no, I'm telling.
Exactly. And I think, like, so many times in our families, children are given the message, you are to be seen and not heard. We're given the message that no matter what happens, you are to honor and respect an adult just because they are older. There are a lot of people who are 18 and over, but they're not adults. They're childish, right? And so you're given this message that no matter what happens, we are to keep this silent. And some of this stuff is like cultural messages that we see, and this is great because you're breaking some of these habits. Well, we're not saying be disrespectful. We need to be very coherent about what we're saying and what messages that we're giving to people. You are to be seen, not heard. How about that, Raj? Any comments that you're saying? We've talked about several things. You are a young Black author now. This is so wonderful. How does it feel to see children? Children should be looking up to you about, and even children who look like you, who could be learning from this book. How does that feel?
I think it feels really good to me that I'm doing something good, and I feel like that I'm doing the right thing, and like it just feels nice to me that I know that I'm healing people and I'm helping people out with like trauma that happened to them.
You do, and I think what's so key is that bad things happen to a lot of people, but it becomes trauma when you don't say things like, no, I'm telling. Because I don't know if people realize this. The more I think about this title, do you know the number one healing for trauma is to speak about what happened to you? So, no, I'm telling is healing, because we're put here on earth to experience things, the good and the bad. It's when we silence ourselves. I mean, can you imagine? Here you are getting all these wonderful divine thoughts in your head. And if you silence that thought in your head, if you silence yourself and just kept everything inside, that you never can express all the wonderful things that happen to you. Thank you, Rashida. Children disassociate. Yeah, I mean, that's so normal. But being able to disassociating in the moment. I'm just reading a comment from Miss Rashida. I feel like, is that your mom in the comments?
Yes, it is.
Look at mom in the comments. She's so spot on. Children disassociate. Guess what? Disassociation is what's supposed to happen when scary things happen to you. You are supposed to disassociate. It's how your body deals with what's happened psychologically. Healing happens when you're like, okay, that was terrible. I just disassociated so that I can get through whatever scary thing that happened to me. Now I need to say something, because that's where the healing happens. When things start to float apart, but it's pulling everything back together, that's healing. And so that is the piece that is so beautiful in just a simple message like speaking up. And I wonder from you, Raj, if you could tell adults one thing that makes it easier for kids to speak up, to actually be able to say, no, I'm telling, what would you say to an adult? Talk to adults now. Mhm.
I would say that to let their kids know that you believe them, and that there's like don't put other things over your kids, and to and allow your kids to have the strength to say no, to say no in any circumstance, in anything.
I love that. Believe them.
All right.
That is so beautiful. It is. And I think the problem is that so many children aren't believed. You know, so many children, because it's upsetting the apple cart when they, especially when
Tell the truth.
it's somebody in your family, especially if it's a person that is, you're financially dependent on another person in the household, and that speaking up can sometimes shatter relationships. And Jamillah, I want you to comment on this, because many families are taught we got to keep this in the family. You know, how do we begin to dismantle some of these messages where let's keep it to ourselves, let's keep this in the family, you know? And what you're talking about is, you know, let's write a whole book on it and let's educate everybody else. And you
Right.
speaking about this today.
So when you're telling your children, like, keep it in the family, or what goes in this house stays in this house. I mean, my mom never taught me that. And none of us, we never was told that. And I never told my children that. But I know a lot of my friends, that's what was said. Like, what happens in this house stays in this house. But what are you really sending out to your children? What energy are you really sending out? You're sending out, if you are hurt, if something happens, you don't get to speak up. You keep it a secret. Keep it a secret. You don't get to honor yourself. You don't get to value yourself. So I'm gonna teach you right now at this age that you're worthless because you don't get to speak up. You don't get to tell. I know, like, I know they looked at me like I was crazy when I did this, but I told my granddaughter, we were in the parking lot coming from the supermarket, and I said to her, I said, I'm supposed to only protect you and love you. And if I don't do that, call the police on me. She said,
Yeah,
what? I
yeah.
said, call the police, because the police are to protect you. And if I ever don't do that, then you call the police. And in any situation where you feel that you're not protected, you call the police. And she just looked at me like I was cuckoo. But that was my way of giving her permission to
Mhm.
not be scared to call the police if something happens, because what if she cannot reach me? She can call the police. But also, I only have love to give, so I don't have a fear of a child calling the police. But what are you really hiding when you tell your child what happens in this house stays in this house? What are you afraid of coming out? Like, is it about you, or is it about you protecting your child? So I would just say to adults that do that, if you do that, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying, please do something different so that your children do not grow up not honoring themselves, not loving themselves, because they were taught to keep quiet about things that hurt them or upset them or doesn't feel good to them. And another thing, Dr. Alicia, some of these predators are right in the house. So when you say don't say anything, or what happens in the house stays in the house, what you're telling them is you get to keep being abused and
Mhm.
essayed because you can't say anything about it.
And you don't matter.
And you don't matter. Exactly.
Keeping a dysfunctional family together is what matters.
And
Mhm.
one another thing, I feel this is what I feel people
Mhm.
should do. This is what I did. You know, it was a long time ago, but my son, I always ask my children, anybody touch you? And that's just what I do, right? But
Mhm.
I decided when my husband was coming out the room. Now, granted, he was the type of father that he did not want to bathe my daughter. He said that, that's something a mom do. I don't want to change her diaper. I never suspected him to be anything but, the person he is. However, predators, you don't know what they look like, what they all look normal, they all look like us. So
Mhm.
at any rate, so I said to my son, I said, Did my husband, I said his name, did my husband ever touch you inappropriately?
Mm-hmm.
Said, no, Mom, why you asking me that? And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, did he ever do anything inappropriate? And he said no, which was great. And my husband was a little upset that I asked that. But the point is, I'm not going to ask in private. I'm going to ask right in front of you so I can give my child the confidence to speak in front of you if they have something to say pertaining to you. We don't have to do this behind closed doors. We could
Mm-hmm.
say it right in front of the person. So, that's what I did. And I did that with my children because I feel like it's really important not to make it seem like it's a secret.
Yes. This is beautiful, everybody. Hey, we are talking about the name today. We're talking about protecting our children. The name of this awesome book is called No, I'm Telling. And there's other parts of the book. Wait, let me put the link in again. Let me put the link to the book. And you can follow them also on Instagram at No, I'm Telling. And I put that link. There's the book. Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. I have the book too. I got the book. I should go grab. Oh, I'm gonna go grab the book too. It's like right over here. Wait, I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna grab it. Here's my version of the book. I got the hard copy. Yeah.
That's all we made was hard copies.
Oh, that's all you made was hard copy because it's fresh out. This is my book. Raj, I don't have your autograph. I feel like I need to get your autograph here in this book. Oh my goodness. It is. Look how big it is. Like it's bigger than me. It's a beautiful, I feel like every single library needs to have this book so the kids can check it out and everything. So you guys, anyway, so everybody, I just want to let you know, I didn't even do my own introductions here. Okay, I want to let everybody know this is Healing Conversation. I am Dr. Alicia. If anybody wants to join my book club, I do have a book club. It's totally free. We meet every Sunday night and it's all about healthy relationships. So go ahead and go to draliciabookclub.com. That gives you the information in the link and the link to our private Zoom session. We have so much fun in there. People are asking about relationship questions. You can come in and get them answered. Also, you could also have a text message here where you text the word love, LOVE, to 87948. Be sure to do that. Y'all get your phones out, do that, and then you get on my text list, and then we'll be able to let you know when we have wonderful conversations like today, very informative, such as today. And of course, if you're interested in working with me, you can reach me at coachingwithdralicia.com, and I'll leave that up there for just a few minutes. And so yeah, and be sure to get this book. It's in the comments here. This wonderful book here, No, I'm Telling. And it is Keeping Kids Safe from Unwanted Touch, and wonderful reviews here that's in the book. Okay, so let's talk. Let's see. I have a question for you, Raj. This is so great that you are talking to children, but you're really talking to adults, because I'm thinking this is a book that can be read with a parent to the child and the child to a parent. This is a book that even if a child doesn't know, how to, their words and everything, this could be a book that could be read, from a caregiver to a parent to a child, in a way that kind of asks questions like, what should she do? What should she do? It gives out all these scenarios. What should he do? And it's kind of like, it's very engaging and very intriguing. Can you give us an example of a scenario in the book and how it kind of encourages people? No, I'm telling, tell 3 grown-ups that you trust. This is really important. So what would you say about some of the scenarios in this book?
I like one of the scenarios inside the book where the sister is touching the brother inappropriately, and offers him a piece of candy for just so he won't tell anybody. But and when after that, and it's like a parent reading it to their child, say, and they say, "What should he do?"
Mm-hmm.
The child would think of something that the little boy should do, and after I say no, you should say no. I'm telling and tell three trusted adults, because it's very important to tell three trusted adults about what's going about what's going on.
I think that's so great to even bring that up. What should I do in those scenarios? Telling three trusted adults. That is really powerful because it's almost like if your sister, like one of the scenarios, your sister, didn't stop and didn't listen to you and touched you inappropriately, you tell three trusted adults. So it's
Yeah.
almost like I didn't told my mama, I didn't told my aunt Jamila, I didn't told cousin Poo Poo. There are three people know, at least three people. And I like that because it's almost like you can even tell them, I also told my mom, I also told, you can even tell who you did tell. And I think that what it does is that instead of you're instantly putting the responsibility back on the adults who, if you got to have at least one, if it's an adult in your life that you trust, it has to be an adult in your life that you can trust with this information to act on it and to do something and to be able to talk about it. So it's taking the burden of the responsibility off of you and put it onto individuals that are old enough to be able to deal with that. And I think that is just so wonderful in speaking up like that. So thank you. So Jamila,
Yes, I wanted to say something before you ask
yeah,
me a
say
question. I just
something.
want to leave this with, I wanted to say this because I want to assist parents. I feel it's really important that you ask your children every so often, just kind of calmly. And first, let me say this: please stop telling children this. If somebody do something to you, I'm gonna kill them, because that doesn't really assist them. Because now they're scared to tell because they know something's gonna happen to you if you do something like that. So we don't want to go and scare children. We want to make them feel really comfortable. So I would just say every so often, ask them questions like this: has anybody ever said or did anything that makes you feel scared? Like in any way, like in school, or they go to your friend house or in your park, anybody? Like, just make it really like, and has anybody ever said that, they're gonna hurt you or hurt me? And that's another question. And the third question is, have you ever felt uncomfortable? Because let me say something, Dr. Alicia. The uncomfortable, and this is for children, every child that's listening, the uncomfortable feeling you feel is a warning. And you get that little uncomfortable feeling in your stomach, like you feel like it doesn't feel good, you have to tell, because that warning can prevent something. And let me give this example. I was in New York at the time, and I was going to a meeting in Lower Manhattan. I had lived in Westchester at the time, so it was a little while to get there. And my best friend, who I love dearly, she was gonna watch my children for me so that I can go to the meeting. So at the meeting, I get a phone call from my daughter, and she said, "Mom, when you coming home?" And I said, "I'll be there." But that "when you're coming home" felt in my
Mm,
stomach uncomfortable. So I left immediately when I got that "when you're coming home," because it started, something didn't feel right. So at any rate, when I came home, my daughter had let me know that my best friend went to the store and her boyfriend was watching them, and he was playing wrestling with her.
mhm,
And
mhm.
she said, "Mom, he went to hug me and it made me feel uncomfortable." So let me tell you what I did. Now I'm clear. You cannot go to jail for hugging somebody. But
Right.
I did not care. I called 911, and
Mhm,
I was sending a message to him:
mhm.
FAFO, don't play.
That's
Not with
right.
mine. Okay? So the police came, they did arrest him. Before they even asked him any questions, they arrested him. Then they did their investigation, and they let me know that they could not, send him to jail for hugging somebody. And I said, I know he couldn't go to jail. I was clear on
Mhm.
that. but it didn't matter to
No.
me. But this is the thing. This was my best friend, Alicia, right? So a lot of times we don't want to release a relationship because, for whatever reason. But I'm telling you, once I knew I had to confront this, I knew that relationship with my best friend was going to be over because her man comes first and my children come first. So I knew that relationship was going to be over. So when she saw me in the lobby talking to the police, she said, Jamillah, what's going on? The police, what's going on? Something happened? I didn't respond to her. I didn't answer her. I just kept on talking to the police. I didn't answer her. And that was the end of our friendship because I already know that I'm not putting any man before my child, but I saw that's what she does. So you're not going to put my child before. So I just say to parents, nobody comes before your children. And my daughter letting me know that felt uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
prevented a R situation because he knew in that moment when I called the police, I'm not going to wait for something to happen to call the police.
Mm-mm.
As soon as you do a little something that makes me think you are a predator in any way, I am calling the police whether you go to jail or not because you're going to know that you're going to jail if you mess with mine. So I say to parents, let your children know if it feels uncomfortable, let you know, because that uncomfortable feeling is a warning. And I protected my daughter, but really, my daughter protected herself by telling me.
Yeah, I mean, you sent a message.
I sent a message and I wasn't playing.
You sent a message to your daughter that
Yeah.
you are valuable and don't feel ashamed about anything. No, we're going to call the police and that's what's going to happen. That's the message you sent. You sent a message to this man to be mindful about his activities with a child that he doesn't know very well. I mean, yeah, it could have been innocent.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Okay,
It
but
was grooming. It was
it was
grooming. I
grooming.
was I
Yeah.
was real clear
Yeah.
that
But
you
you
were
sent a
grooming.
message that he needs to be mindful of what he's doing. It's a message that was sent even to the police officers. Wow, this lady ain't playing around. And I am happy that I'm certain the police weren't mad at you, you know?
No, they said we can't arrest him for trying to, for wrestling and for hugging your daughter. But I already knew that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not crazy.
And they knew, listen, Jamillah, they knew that you knew that.
Right. I knew
And
that.
being a police officer, you're talking about New York, being a police officer, I'm certain they see a lot of things going on. They
Right.
probably knew that you knew that, but it was the process that sent a message, and it sent a message to your friend
It's
in
right. It sent a
particular.
message. Right.
And
I sent the message to
you were
everybody.
a friend to her. If she didn't talk to you after that, she wasn't a friend to you. But you were a friend to her by your actions. And if she wasn't at the point where she can see it that way, maybe one day she should thank you for it or feel grateful for that experience. We don't know where she is and what's going on, but you were a friend to her by what you did.
But what I mean, thank you for that. What I
Mhm.
mainly want parents to know is don't be afraid to let go of relationships when it comes to your children.
Mhm.
I don't care who it is. I've always been very protective of my children. And to this day I'm still the same. I'm just not as rah-rah that I used to be.
Well, I mean, I'm a mama bear. I'm like, I'm like, oh no, not my baby. My baby gonna have what she need to have. So
Yeah.
yeah, we relate to this, and moms are beautifully in tune with their children, are protecting them just by being in tune with them. I mean, I think you really got to the question about how affirming you were. It turned into an experience where that child, your daughter, felt empowered instead of feeling afraid. And I think that's what's important. If you hadn't had a close connection with her to begin with, she never would have even thought, maybe I should call her. She knew you were in this meeting. Nothing's more important than
Right.
that. I think that's so great. And it's so great, Raj. I think, we're coming at the top of the hour. And I just want to ask you, like, what is one sentence of encouragement that you'd like to leave every child tonight who's listening? What do you would like to say to them?
I would like to say that you should never be afraid to use your voice. And so, and I would like to say that using your voice is not going to affect you in any kind of way, even if you feel scared. If you feel scared to use your voice, it's not going to affect you at all. Your voice matters. It counts to your parents, the people who are keeping you safe, anybody. Just to use your voice, and your voice matters, and you're important. And I'm sure everybody that knows you, cares about you, loves you, and knows an importance that you are to them.
Oh, that's so great. Well, I'm glad you're using your voice today. This is so encouraging. It's so wonderful. This book is so fantastic. I know I'm telling. Look at this. It's no, I'm telling. Keeping kids safe from unwanted touch. It's colorful, it's engaging, it gives examples. It is oh my God, it has like a little handout. Look at this.
Yeah.
Who are your three trusted adults? Who are they? Write them down.
So let
Always
me just,
tell.
Dr. Alicia, let me let parents know when you talk to your
Yeah.
children and let them know about the three trusted adults, you would like to make sure they understand what a trusted adult is. So, a trusted adult is someone who's going to listen to you, someone who's going to, like Raj said, believe you, and someone who's going to take action to protect you. So, when you know that those are the three things, some people may not be that trusted adult, and that's okay because you want a trusted adult that falls with those three with those three categories.
Yeah, and I think you should let that trusted adult know you are my trusted adult.
Yes,
Let
definitely,
them.
definitely. But that does come with the book, and you put it on the refrigerator, and that way the children will remember, like, these are my trusted adults that I can go to in case something happens. And I can't reiterate it any more than this, but please allow your children to say no. Allow your children to have their free will to do things that, you know, you may not choose for them to do. I'm speaking from a mother who did not do that. I was very controlling. Do it this way, do it that way. But now I get to do it different with my granddaughter. But at any rate, when you give the children the freedom to do that, you are protecting them. I'm telling you. And then really reward them. Don't just, oh, you're using your voice? Okay, let's go out. Let me buy you some, some snacks, or I'm proud of you using your voice. Always use your voice. You get to use your voice. Like, really emphasize that, because that's what takes the fear away from telling on a predator.
Yes, that is so wonderful. It's time to reclaim this as an aspect of our culture, especially in the Black community. We can imagine a healed Black community. This is an element of it. I'm telling. And this book, y'all, this book is helping us get there. Oh my God. So, Raj, I got to ask you a question. Tell me, what is before we leave for tonight, what is your favorite hobby? What is it that you like to do on your
Favorite hobby?
Yes, outside of writing bestseller books.
I like to play football.
Okay. So, what's your favorite football team?
The Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens, y'all. What? Are you from the DMV area?
No, I just really like Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. Oh my goodness. I got some Lamar Jackson stories, but I'll save that for later. That is fascinating. Okay, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. Wonderful. Okay, so we got Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson. It's football season, so I know you're really excited. I don't know much about football that much, but thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming on here and talking to us, Jamillah and Raj. I don't know. You guys, y'all brought the light today. You're bringing this into a space I think is too long filled with silence, for real. And to all of our viewers that came in today, yes, go Ravens, Felicia. any of you guys, if any of the content of this conversation, if it brings up something for you, you can always go to, let me put the number here.
Oh,
Uh,
wait, we got to give away the 2 free books too.
oh, that's
So,
right. Let's do
yes,
that.
okay.
We have plenty of time.
So
Okay,
let
so
the child go to Raj. No, I'm telling Instagram page. No, I'm
yes,
telling in the message.
let me
You're going
put
to
it
say
in.
this. I will always use my voice to protect myself. And the two that we get first, you're going to get the book. And how you're going to get the book? We're going to you're going to put your number or something in the chat, and Roger's going to reach out to you to get your address because we don't want to put your address on the internet. So you're going to get to speak to Raj directly, get
Oh,
your address
I'm gonna put instructions. I will always use my voice
to protect myself.
to protect myself. Okay, I put it in there.
And they right, put that in the message when you go to IG. And the first two that we
Okay.
get will get a phone call from not tonight because everybody going to sleep. We'll get a phone call from Raj, and he will mail the book to them, and it will be an autographed copy. And yeah, they get to speak to Raj for a sec.
Oh, I think that's great. I'm gonna put this up in the banner, and I'm gonna put that up so everybody can see that. Y'all take out your phones, go to Instagram, and go to at no dot I'm telling IMTELLING. Y'all join the movement. This is a movement. We're gonna infuse no I'm telling into our culture. This is culture
Yeah,
changing conversation. We are changing the culture. And
yeah.
that will eventually put me out of business. Put me out of business, everybody. I want to be like an entire community of Black people that is absolutely healed. The world is healed, and then I can just go and do something else. I don't know what I'll do with myself, but I want to be put out of business. I don't want no more clients, no more people working with me. We are perfectly healed, stepping into our divine. And Jamillah, you definitely are healed because you listened to that voice on that beautiful day in that church. Church works, boy. And I
Thank
will
you.
always use my voice to protect myself. Go to Instagram. Y'all, you got to follow. Follow on Instagram and write
Yeah.
that comment in, and you get a free book.
Yes, and we also are having a book signing in California for anybody who is on the West Coast. We are having a book signing. It's going to be games, and you can take selfies and pictures with Raj, and we're going to have snacks, and he's going to sign your book if you already have it. It's going to have some there to buy. So just follow us on Instagram so you'll know exactly when we're having a book signing, and you get to meet Raj in person.
It's in California. Okay,
It's
so
in
there we
California.
go. You got to let me know the details because I want to be there. I want to talk to Raj myself, King Raj Brown. Anyway, so yes,
Oh,
this is
wait. One
wonderful.
more thing,
Yes,
Alicia. This is one more thing that's important for parents. You
yes.
know, we have the sex offender registry. So that's another thing I feel like y'all should do is put your zip code in and see who is a, a predator in your neighborhood so that you could just be aware. I put my zip code in, and right in the next house over is a predator. And I mean, when you get a mortgage, you cannot say they don't do a background check.
No, they
just
don't.
right. So but it made me aware of it, and I have a granddaughter, so it made me aware. I definitely say that's something that parents should do because you just never know. I real quick, because I know you got to go. I
No,
remember this man when we were in Virginia. He said that he would always have children, and he worked with the church, and he said, I want to do what was it, football or basketball, some one of those sports, and I want to take your son, and I would like to he could be a part of it. Look at all the children that I have, and da 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 da. And I had a dream that night. And I have a
mm,
daughter that crossed over, and she's in the light. And she came to me in my dream, and she said, "Mommy, he's a predator."
oh,
And the very next day, we were outside with the dog, and he said, "Can I take pictures of your son?" So of
mm-mm.
course I said no, but you know, I noticed that predators like to prey on what they think is single parents.
They do.
And, I want to mentor your child, or I want to help you out. I want be aware of that. Be aware of that. And I'm not saying that all of them are predators, but I'm saying Just always ask your children when they're not around you. I don't care who they would. Ask them, were you scared? Did anybody say they would hurt me? Did anything feel uncomfortable? Just ask them that. And always let them know, I'm here to protect you, but you got to tell me everything so that I can protect you. Because your job is to tell me, and my job is to protect you.
I think this is so beautiful, mainly because, what we now know as therapists, there's no cure. There's no cure for this. And there's no known cure.
No.
Nothing. And that's the only issue. That's the only issue with this type of perpetrator, is that nothing has been working. I mean, there's harm reduction techniques you can do, but there's harm reduction. There's no eliminating this in terms of trying to fix predators. So there ain't no fixing anybody. You can't therapy this stuff on out. It is something that has not to date had a cure for it. And that's unusual, but that's what it is. So I just letting everybody know, ain't nobody changing. If that's who they are, that's who they are.
Right. And if you know they did something inappropriate to you, don't send your child there.
That's right.
Don't feel like, well, Uncle James, he done changed.
No. Not when you think they found Jesus and they didn't change. That's not it. Sometimes finding Jesus is giving them an entry into grooming, so that's what happens. But that's just my knowledge as a therapist. But we're here
Thank you for that.
We're here today to champion this book and for giving a voice to our most vulnerable population of people, and that's children. And so I thank you, Raj. I'm gonna look into, maybe I can come and meet you in California. No, I'm telling. You're the man of the hour, Raj. I think it's so great that you just have followed your aunt into such a beautiful, beautiful story. I'm going to type in the chat one more time, ways in which you can purchase, links to where you purchased the book, how to join this movement. It's a movement on Instagram. And then I just want to thank the two of you for joining me tonight. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Hello, everyone in the chat. Thank you for viewing and for watching us. Let's continue to create spaces where every child is safe. We can do it. Every parent is informed. Every survivor knows their story matters. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.